let's talk about 5 things that are crucial to your journey as a video creator, whether you just got a camera or you've had a camera for a little while, but you really want to start taking the next steps in your video journey. The first thing is style. What type of work do you want to be doing? Now, I kind of naturally gravitated towards sports, shooting kind of like a handheld, more moody kind of interview vibe with B-roll and that kind of stuff. That was kind of my vibe. Guys like Ryan Booth, and then in the sports world, people at like Colorado and Alabama, places like that. So those were some of the things that I kind of gravitated towards. But there's so many different styles, whether you want to do travel vlogs or lifestyle stuff, whatever it is, you need to identify those things that really inspire you, that you like, and kind of start honing in on what is it that you want to shoot. The second thing, and what all video is based on, is story. And what do you have around you? When you first get started in video, you need opportunities to shoot. You need opportunities, more importantly, to tell stories. So what do you have at your disposal around you? For example, if you want to shoot sports like I did, and maybe you know somebody who's a great BMX rider or likes to rock climb or do something cool outdoors like that, well, then tell a story about them. Do an interview, shoot some B-roll, that kind of thing. But use what you have around you to start building up that portfolio and start to help you hone in on your style. The third thing is gear. Now, I love gear, I love cameras, I love lenses, I love all of that. But what's more important here is that we use what you have, and then we be strategic about using rentals for, let's say, a project that you have, a story that's in your own backyard, somebody that you know. Well, let's use rentals as an opportunity to get nicer gear that you don't have to buy, but then it shows more production value, whether you get a nicer lens or you rent a nicer camera, whatever that is. Use gear and use rentals specifically to help you define your story and your style. Fourth thing is why. Now, if you've ever heard of Simon Sinek, you're going to hear me talk about him a lot, but you need to start with why. Start with why you want to tell stories. Start with why you want to shoot video. And that could be a multitude of reasons. Maybe you have a job that you don't like and you've always wanted to do this. That's great. I knew from an early age that I loved cameras, I loved technology, and I loved telling stories. And so naturally, I just had a why of, I want to do this full time. I want to support my family with video. Maybe that's the same thing for you. Maybe you just want to do something on the weekends or with your kids or something that's fun. That's great, but define why you want to do this, because that's going to be something very important as you go forward. The last thing is set a goal and tell someone. Now, I'm going to have an entire another video on this about how we tell other people and set expectations that help us learn and grow. But the biggest thing you can do here when starting in video is, let's say you want to tell a story, shoot an interview, shoot some B-roll, and kind of tell this story. Well, then tell somebody that you're going to do that and say, hey, I'm going to do this. Would you mind looking at it after I'm done and giving me some honest feedback? Honest feedback from whether it be your spouse or a friend or whoever is so important. And make sure it's somebody who's not just going to, just tell you it's great just because it's great. But no, get somebody to tell you what they honestly think about it. Would they continue watching after the first 10 seconds? Make sure it's somebody that you can trust. You want to make sure it's somebody you can trust because this is important to you. And if you're starting this, if you're watching this far through, I know that this is important to you. And setting goals and telling somebody means you're putting yourself out there. And that's difficult for everybody, especially if you're getting started early on. So keep going, define your style, find a story that you're in your own backyard, find some equipment. There's so many great rental services, whether you use ShareGrid that's local or rental houses, Lens Pro to Grow, things like that you can use to rent equipment for less money that can up that production value and help you begin to define a story and a style. Remember, define your why. Why are you doing this? Because that's going to be crucial as you go throughout your journey. And then set that goal and tell somebody and get some honest feedback. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.